Good morning everyone and welcome back to another studio video. Just as promised, we're back over here with the Christmas Carol book covers. Unfortunately, I have nothing to discuss on any of those, apart from which one my favourite was, and I believe it was this one over here. So let's quickly go and take a look at that one last time, and as you can see, we have the Ghost representation one as my favourite, shortly followed up by Scrooge as second best. But as you could see in the beginning of this video, the first thing I've got to take a look at today, well, the only thing we've got to take a look at today is this beauty here. And this is my follow-up to the Christmas Carol book cover, otherwise known as the Christmas Carol book stack. And this is designed as a load of custom Lego books, which could go perfectly with stuff like the pop-up book, Harry Potter books, Disney Princess books, and, well, the Hans Christian Andersen, which you can see on the top here, and the Christmas Carol book, which you might recognise down here at the bottom. All of the other books in between are designed as a custom, and this is designed as a display mock for the Christmas Carol set, Hans Christian Andersen set, and any other Lego books which you have to display. So as you can see here, it is a stack of books, starting with the Christmas Carol, this unnamed blue book, this giant grey tome here, and then these two thin books, as well as the Hans Christian Andersen on the top. And one thing you might notice is that all hollow, and you might be able to see here, but this is designed as an alternative to making a book cover for the Christmas Carol, where you can pop the top off these, and you'd be left with the full display Christmas Carol model underneath. So you can see I haven't damaged this model in any way, and these books just slot on over the top. So you can have displayability in less space while still having the full model in its hull. Now, there were a couple of other things I wanted to talk about with this book stack, more specifically with this grey one. I came up with a great idea for the name of this book, and that is to use the rune piece from Lego Lord of the Rings Mines of Moria set, and I thought that was a really clever idea of an inclusion for kind of like a title for this book, and I thought it fitted like the tomed, grey, dusty style. This is also an entirely possible build if you broke up the covers of these books and instead of using these giant 8x16 tiles like I have for simplicity, used 1x4s in the respective colours. But apart from that, this build is entirely possible to do with all existing pieces and no illegal pieces or illegal techniques were used. The books are fairly loosely connected in that regard, but apart from that, I think it looks really nice. I really like the jumbled structure of it, and I really hope it will look good next to some of the other books. I'm going to do a couple of renders now, but before we do that, let's just give it a nice little spin around to kind of show you more of what I did. So you can see here the Hans Christian Andersen book just sits nicely on top, and you can see I used a very similar technique for the pages on these three books, just switching out the colour for the grey tomes. The way I think about it is that the Christmas Carol and this blue one are supposed to be fantasy books. This is some sort of ancient volumes, and these two are kind of travel brochures or quick guides or little modern books, really. And then you've got the Hans Christian Andersen one open on the top. Now, I'm really proud of this as a design. I think it's a really nice, like, small mock that I think would look really good. But let's test that theory now, and we'll go and take a look at some of these pictures I've mocked up next to the pop-up book and the Harry Potter books. And I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next one. Enjoy!